유바비, 유바비, 마성. 이대 못 라이. 오케이. 오케이. Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good evening or good afternoon, depending where you are. I can see, you guys are already here. The kind of chat is working. It's all happening, Hi, just say hi and say where you're from. We love it. Oh my God, Lynette is here as well. Hello, Lynette. And Tony and his cat. Hello, Charles and Marcello. Marcello, I hope you had a little bit sleep, man. Thank you so much for doing all the hard work. It was amazing with your cat. Martin, oh my God, all the people are here. I can see a lot of people from Winterlook Academy. I mean, I love it. I'm so happy. Look, I have to tell you, this was probably one of the hardest jobs I had so far. I mean, to actually understand and figure out, who's going to be these top 10 people that we're going to choose it was the hardest thing. I also, kind of gave you a little extra time so for you to finish all the assignments and to get everything done. So, we have kind of allowed enough time for everything to happen, and I have to tell you, I have never expected that we're going to get results from this course the way we got. I think this was just absolutely unbelievable. The quality of your work was just, something I was gobsmacked. I have never thought we're going to get, such an amazing collection of amazing work that you have submitted at your final assignment. So I have to tell you, really, there isn't, really a winner, even though we're going to announce somebody we think who's the best. But, I think, everybody who took a part of this course has won in one way or another, has actually managed to actually really, come to such a high level of image quality and look design and creation. I think this was just absolutely fantastic. I can see people are rolling in. Oh my God, Craig is here as well. Hello. Fantastic. Good to see you guys. So I want to just start a little bit just for those folks who are, who have not been part, of Winterlook Academy. I just really wanted to, give you a little bit of an explanation to what it is. So basically, the simplest way how to explain what Winterlook Academy is if we were to, let's say, not teach color grading, but we were to teach cooking. Let's say we're a cooking class. School. And so what actually happens with color grading is that there is a lot of training that it teaches you how to cook according to the recipe. So you click here, you cut this, you put this, you do this, you then bake for this many minutes, and boom, you have a dish. Okay, and that is really a great way how to learn color grading if you're a beginner. But what if you're not beginner? What if you're a professional? Or what if you're very good already in color grading? Or you want to get better than, you know how to operate DaVinci, you know how to operate color grading equipment, but you really want to, get better and creative and just get onto that higher level. How to train that? how to do that, how to develop a training for that. And that was always my quest. And ever since I started training, since I started working in training, and that was almost a decade ago, I believe now, like, you know, I have always trying to find a way. How are we going to find a way how to teach people, you know, how to progress and how to be not just button pushers, but somebody who's really creative. Because color grading is not just technology. There is a big part of art in what we do. There is a big part of creation in this. But so how do you do this? How do you, you know, teach someone how to create? So really Winter Look Academy is culmination of that effort, you know, how we're going to actually, you know, develop a training program that is going to be effective, that is going to work, and it's going to teach people how actually to be creative. So go back to this kind of restaurant, you know, like or cooking kind of school scenario. Think about this. You already have a restaurant. You own a restaurant. You know how to cook. But now you want to get awarded a Michelin star for that restaurant. Okay? And you're not going to get a Michelin star just for cooking dishes you found in cookbooks. You need to be the creator. You need to come up and design a look. You need to come up and be creative and develop something yourself. So what we're doing in Winter Look Academy is exactly that. We are, you know, creating Michelin star chefs, basically. And the people who have completed this course, they are, as far as I'm concerned, you know, Michelin star colorists, if you want to put it that way. So basically, in a very simplest way, how to explain what we had is we had like a 4 modules, you know, over more than a month period. And these 4 modules were cinema theory. We really had to study, like, you know, how masters work, how creators work, how directors, cinematographers work, what is really, you know, inside, you know, what is the essence of how they do it. Then we had to learn about film technology. And really, like, you know, in this case of Winter Look Academy, what we did is we went back to film. And we went back to film because it's actually impossible. It's impossible to like, you know, be colorist and not know about film. Like, you know, because you see there was 100 years of development and look creation. And that is important. We cannot just throw this away. We have to start building on top of it. Just because we don't shoot on film, it doesn't mean our look should not look like film. I believe that today it's not a choice whether I should shoot on film and not shoot on film. I think, you know, it's both. You know, I could shoot digitally and still make it look like it shoots on film. And really, like, you know, this is really the idea. How are you going to know how this works if you don't really dive deep into it? So we went deep. We went as deep as we could find. We dug and we found out, you know, training materials from Kodak. We found, you know, some biggest specialists, you know, to do it. And when I'm talking about specialists, we have managed to come to that solution that is really missing in our industry, which is called apprenticeships. The only way this industry was progressing in the past and colorists were developing in the past is through apprenticeship. You know, a junior colorist would work with a senior colorist, and the senior colorist would train the junior, and so that person would progress and get better and better. And that doesn't exist anymore. It just doesn't exist. You know, there's many reasons for that. So what we did is we decided to find, you know, like a mentors, of people who are going to tell us, you know, really how it is and how it works. And we got some of the best guest lecturers we could find in Hollywood. People who were actually first, who have developed this industry, who started this, who were initiators. On their work, we're building ourselves. This is what we're doing now. This is really what we're doing now. So we had a Josh Pines teach us color science, right? We had a Beverly Wood, you know, a woman that basically, you know, did a bleach bypass. You know, she told us the story how she had to stop, you know, Deluxe's, you know, film printing, you know, line in order to try to experiment on bleach bypass for movie 7. Right? We worked with Alex Hernandez, who was scanning for almost 20 years. You know, he was at Technicolor back then, and now he's at Fotokem. You know, one of the best people in the industry for scanning. You know, we had the Price Pethel, who was colorist back in 1972. He had a business card that said colorist. I mean, who even knew that would existed then? And, you know, like, imagine to get people, and then we had the Yarborough from Warner Brothers, who's right now restoring Godfather. in HDR, right? So basically, we really had the best we could find of people who will be able to give us their guest lectures and mentor us further. And then, of course, we had the regular look design sessions and exercises. There is, however, one little thing I have to tell you, which is, what is very specific, which is that those look designs were not just done randomly. We actually, were, taking that knowledge that we were learning about film and building them into a software. And, this is really something I'm blessed with, a position that I also run, a software development company for color grading, the color intelligence and the color lab. And basically, I want to thank our engineers for being so responsive and so understanding and being able to actually integrate all this new stuff that we were learning through Winter Look Academy and putting it into like a beta, new version of Look Designer that we were using on that course for the first time. But I think the best way for me to explain to you really, what it was, I think, and maybe for everybody who was a part of it, it's a great moment for us to remind ourselves what really happened. So I'm just going to play you a very quick video that's going to show you and remind you to what happened over the 4 weeks of winter this year. All right, so guys, I'm gonna just start. We have a 3-part presentation at the moment. We're gonna talk about film structure. You need to understand film structure. We're gonna learn about all the different film types and formats. We're gonna go through some specifications. And the reason I'm doing this, I think you need to know, if you ever get a roll of film, you need to understand what the differences are. Welcome to the first guest lecture. Rare opportunities to hear Josh talk about film.
S-curve tone mapping is your friend. This S-curve is not a limitation of film. It's not a byproduct of film. It was designed into film.
Okay, now, perfect. In this case, let me go and give you a little bit of an intro to about our first subject, which is the laboratory. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have a Beverly here with us.
If you can get the depth of black on a digital projector and be close to film, I think it would be extraordinary.
Okay, it's coming in. Number one limitation is time. You haven't got a couple of hours to build that look. You have minutes, okay?
Look like that on the bottom. If you do a little post process, you can go to the blue channel, and there's different techniques. People do a temporal degrain only the blue channel, right? And that gives you pretty good results. It almost looks like, oh my God, this could be like a digital, but it still has that film feel to it, right?
And good morning, and good evening, good afternoon. It's going to be like a very interesting class today, everybody, because at first what we're going to do is I'm going to go through all the different stocks that we have, and I want to teach you a little bit about the stocks, what they are.
And that was the only bias that I wanted. I wanted to start by getting the errors or the nuances of the color path or the film stock or whatever it was, just remove that quick, boom, boom. And if you train yourself to do that very, very quickly, then you get to the creative part.
At the time, Peter Doyle was doing Lord of the Rings down in New Zealand, and he had put together with a couple of Hungarian brothers a system to handle the Lord of the Rings as pure data files all the way through. They'd shoot on film, they'd scan raw images, and then from that point on, everything was handled as data.
Wow. I mean, like, just watching those, like, it's just, brings so many memories. I can't tell you, like, this was amazing. And I think we're all going to be going back to those recordings for a while, actually. Like, I just found myself, as I was going to the class, sitting and rewatching Price completely from the beginning till the end and making notes. Like, all the stuff he said is just gold dust. I think absolutely amazing. And this is one thing that Price has, is just this ability to really teach very well. And then, like, I have to tell you also that kind of lecture from Josh Pines as well, like, it was just unbelievable, like, how he made it so simple, something so complicated so simple. But I think for me the most inspirational talk, was really Beverly. I almost felt adopted by Beverly. I felt we were all like her children somehow. I don't know. And she gave us such a motivation, to go for it. And I think really this is sometimes also super important. To need someone just to lift you and motivate you to get you going. I think it's just unbelievable. So basically now we come to the kind of final part of the Winter Look Academy, which was the final assignment. So basically what that is that each participant after completing first the test, of course, would have to then go and take this knowledge we just created, and we have to put that knowledge into practice and select any job, anything that they basically worked on in the past, or they're working now, or something they worked in the past, something that feels inspiring to them. And then basically, create a look using techniques that, we have just learned. Like, basically put all of that in practice, okay? And, I think, we have then gone through all of this, and then we selected now just the kind of what I call the finalists, right? The people who we felt like, really the best, because it was really impossible for us, to get every single kind of assignment, to us, so we had to kind of create a group of those that we thought are really at the top, and there was so many of them. And I would like us all to enjoy, like, we have about, 10 minutes, and we're going to now play, all the finalists, and all the, assignments that have been submitted. I'm sure you guys are going to find it really inspirational. I'm sure you are, but let me actually just kind of press play on this video that was skillfully edited by our Marcello. Thank you, Marcello, for doing that. You did such a great job, and just enjoy it for the moment. Like, we're going to just watch each one of your final assignments.
Ini pertanda udah waktunya kamu nyari jawaban buat semua pertanyaan kamu.
Udah dimulai.
It had to be done.
I told you I'd take care of it. Now the police are all over me. then find her and get them off your trail. Unless you want to end up like your girlfriend.
And you think you have a choice? You must be crazy.
Beta sing tahu apa-apa. Ini pengkhianatan ini.
I've always been afraid.
Feed your fear. Make it a fire. A roaring blaze.
It's 1877, and this afternoon, Mabel Hubbard Bell, the wife of Alexander Graham, will receive a telephone call. It will be me.
Surprised to see me here, huh?
Why are you doing this?
Tired of taking orders from the old man. Hand over the money, Daisy.
I have to tell you. I mean, just watching this, it was just unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. Next time, director or cinematographer contacts me and asks me for a recommendation for a colorist, I'm just going to point him to this video. I'm just going to say, go watch this. And you can choose. Actually, I think you just made color training the best color training facility in the world, because what makes a really color training facility good is the work of their students, and I think this is by far the best quality student work that I've seen. I mean, this is just unbelievable. We never had anything like this, guys. I'll be honest with you. We never had such a concentration, like an amount of this good work, which is just kind of credit to really everything that happened and put together, and see the results are here. The results are visible. And, for me, the hardest job was not to say, okay, whom are we going to pick, because we decided that, top 10 are going to get automatically, entry into the Summer Look Academy that is coming up in August. And, they will automatically get a free entry into the Summer Look Academy. And then, so the debating started, like, how are we going to do this and so on. So, so I love it. So guys, after a long, the kind of debating and deciding, we did put together a list, that of 10 people that we think, have done exceptionally well. And I think, we should definitely recognize their work. So, without further ado, I would like to start basically, from, number 10 down to number 1. A very important part of Winter Look Academy is actually the fact that we are working in a group. And, this is really, what makes the difference, that we are actually like inspiring one another, and that's a big part of the concept of teaching that we have. This is not it's a competitive environment in a positive way, where you inspire one another, where you kind of, look at each other work and you just say like, oh my God, this is just, this is possible. I want to do this. This is really how I want to move on. Basically, that was number 10, and I'm moving down to number 9, and this is Jack Manzi. And let's see what Jack did. He said, for this film, I used Cries and Whispers from 1972 as a reference, as it was also psychological horror. I used Fuji Eterna 8543 Vivid as the negative stock because I wanted intense color and strong contrast look of something like Black Swan. I used Kodak Vision Premiere 2393, right? He went for that, he went for, Premiere stock to further enhance the contrast and rich blacks. I used subtractive color to add a bit of the through it. I actually really love, these kind of little kind of, descriptions are really super important for us, to kind of understand really, what's happening and how looks should look. So one more time, here is assignment from Jack Manzi. Wow. That kind of, that last shot when she turns her head around is just absolutely amazing. That look in her eyes is just absolutely fantastic. Really, really well done, Jack. Really good job. Okay, now we're moving down to number 8. On number 8, we have Lucas Mulder. So let's see, what Lucas did. So his project that he worked on is called It's All in the Eyes, and it was shot on an Epic, and he used a negative stock Fuji Eterna 8543. He printed also to 2383, and he used some ENR process. Okay, so you see, this is another sign, like when someone's kind of trained in film, they don't say just, they specify what type of bleach paste they used. Love it. So he said the first act of the film is very warm and saturated, mirroring the emotions of the protagonist as she falls in love. As the arc of the film progresses and she begins to question her lover, the warmth begins to ebb away. In this, the final scenes of the film, the protagonist's world is quickly falling apart. The colors are much more muted and desaturated. The bright red jacket, which has been the protagonist's trademark, is now dull and muddied. Overall, the contrast is quite low, with lots of roll-offs in blacks. So fantastic. Let's have a look one more time on Lucas's piece. Unbelievable. Really well done, Lucas. Really, really good. This is such a, fantastic piece. So we're moving down further to number 7, and this was a very, very unusual look. I have to tell you, this one definitely caught my eye, and it is done by Michelle Ricossa. So basically, let's see what Michel did. So the intention of the cinematographer for this project is to create mysterious, foggy, and moody pictures. He wants the look to be filmic, gritty, and timeless, lifted blacks, and a fair amount of film grain. The interiors are lit with candles and strong blue light source, while the exteriors with the natural light available after the sunset. I look at the reference from the work of old masters to find the right ochre yellow and his cyan complementary. For the blacks of my look, I want to use similar tone as the browns base common to ancient oil paintings. Interesting, which is I see as timeless. I made a palette of the complementary color harmony combination of two tones to shift the hues of the warm, cold light shadows and the scenes of those target values. Negative stock she used, which is Kodak 5219, and this is now number, what did we say, 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, let's go.
Call on the wild if you hear it. Hear it, Ron.
Fantastic! I love it. I love it. What a great piece. Okay, now we're moving to number 6. On number 6, we have a Luca Enrico Canessa. This is absolutely, wonderful work here. Actually, what is interesting, it's a little story behind it. So this project got stuck because of budget issues. Don't we know? We have all of those, right? And I have this footage on my drive for many months, and in the preliminary stage, I was told to make it look cinematic since it's a fashion film shoot for Korean bags brand. It was shot in Palm Springs in the desert, so I immediately thought about No Country for Old Men. It's a great issue, yeah, which has so many desert locations. I tried to emulate that specific look with use of both negative and printlets in the way we learned in the Winterlook Academy. I also used halation, MTF, and a bit of waver along with Film Grain Lab. I played around in each clip with the subtractive color tool in Look Designer. I did some windows too. The main challenge was to retain white highlights while having green shadows. So let's have a look at Lucas's work.
She believes beauty is strictly connected to love.
My God, I really love that skin tone, like in that one shot, it was just absolutely amazing. But, we're moving down to number 5. So on number 5, we have Reka Hain. And basically, it is one of the most, bravest looks that, I've seen, from anybody. And I really had to kind of, credit her for that, for being like a really brave to break the mold and use color in a really, really bold way. So Narcos Seda is a drama of a father who's into gambling, getting easy money by cheating on others and risking his family's financial stability every day. They, as a family, live day by day as he doesn't work. So he makes a final big mistake. He opts for putting his son's education savings to the bet, trusting his friend's tip, what later cost him his family as a final punishment for him. We used shades of blue to be dominant color to symbolize the emptiness and darkness of his everyday life in general, the nihilist so-called freedom he has. We used greenish yellow when he wanted to suggest that they are onto something bad again. The main colors were green, orange, red, and blue. So let's go and let's have a look at the work from...
Szeressétek, tanuljatok fegyelmet, hogy fel ne gerjedjen az Úr haragra. Ámen! 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 Megjetek az Úr előtt!
hogy a jó kurva életbe.
Oh my God, what an amazing and brave looks from Reka. Reka, well done. Well done. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, we're getting now to the top, right? So this is like, who is going to be like, in the top, and, let's see who's on number 4. And as you can see, it is Neeraj Mundra. Okay? Really amazing work. Really amazing work from him. I have to tell you, this is just such a high quality and stylish production. So basically, the lead character of this series, Yudhvir, is a descendant of royal blood and is a carefree and promiscuous college-going student. He learns after being slapped by a police officer that real power lies in politics. This changes his attitudes towards life, and he's now focused on being a successful politician. He doesn't think twice, even if he has to kill someone to achieve his goals. That's the bearded look. Therefore, my look is high contrast when we show his younger years in flashback. It's cold and green and cyanish mid-tone based neutrals. Slightly muted saturation gamut too. Thereafter, for the present shaved look, when we show him in his successful days as a man in his prime and the cusp of becoming a politician, I have chosen to give it more warm and strong contrast as for the past. So we've chosen to present to be warm for 2 aspects. It depicts the lead's character's state of life, political success, and I needed to separate the past and look, since the storytelling is non-linear. Absolutely beautiful, like, such a wonderful thinking. Let's have a look how this looks in practice. So here is one more time submission and final assignment from Neeraj Mundra. Wow. Actually, it really, makes you want to watch them. You want to know, like, where can I see this stuff? Where can I find it? Great, Neeraj, great. Okay, so who do you think is on number 3? Okay, who do you think is number 3? Let's have a look. Number 3, it's Edgar Flores. Oh my God, Edgar, I love the whole story. Like, I'm not going to be able to show everything you submitted. It was really most beautiful, background story about this movie. So let me just kind of help you. So synopsis is that, that filmmakers are trying to submit a movie into film festivals, and it doesn't take, and then they lie that it was directed by some famous director who's been hiding for the last 15 years. And finally, the feature gets accepted because festival requires the presence of that director. And now they have to go and, try to find the director and, convince him, to basically, to attend the film festivals. It's a total roller coaster. It's anger, excitement, happiness, envy, greedy, everything happens, right? So what he wanted to do with color. My intention was that the audience perceives the emotions of the moments and the characters that go from anxiety, mystery, hope, excitement, happiness, and the like. So the color begins with the disappointment of being rejected and a relentless possibility of doing a sort of cheating to get their films accepted, and the searching for whereabouts of the old director. This was supported with blues and worn out yellows when they finally reach the director, and the palette starts gaining life when they convince him to go to the festival. It's beautiful. I mean, think about it. How, he's telling the story through the color, or how he's helping tell the story through the color. This is really exactly what I always really was hoping. And there is just a note that unfortunately the director of this movie has passed away, and I think he kind of really wanted to dedicate, this extra work to him. So, thank you, Edgar, for doing this. I think this is such a beautiful beautiful, work you did. I want to just show to everybody, at your submission. So here is Edgar Flores' work. Wow, Identidad Tomada. You gotta watch this now. Oh, wow. Okay. So, who do you think it's on number 2? Who's number 2, right? Let's see. Okay, and this is... Oh my God! It's Jens Harms! Actually, I have to tell you, this was such a close kind of, decision between who was number 2 and who's number 1. I have to tell you, it was a really, really amazing. Both of these works are absolutely fantastic. And I can't. We were amazed by it. I haven't actually showed these images to anybody who hasn't responded with, total amazement. I have friends who are really big cinematographers. And I kind of enjoyed when they come to my house, and we're not really working. We're just having a little social moment, to show them some of these images and to hear their opinion, and it's just unbelievable. So let's go back to basically what Jens did. So this is a retro sci-fi ghost power mystic social realismus. This is a new genre. Just invented. Okay, the dusty old spirits of the ancient ancestors take over the little China girl called Boy in order to control her rather magnificent, destructive, and dangerous owned darkheit. They need her cruel wisdom in their fight against humanity gone bad. For the final assignment, I shot a little test scene in the streets of Berlin. It was shot using Canon EOS C200 in 4K Cinema Raw Light. I was very lucky to have 2 wonderful actresses, the Elbow sisters, Elizabeth and Sarah. Sarah did also a wonderful styling, makeup, and wardrobe job. Thank you very much. It was, for all the rest of the crew. The look was inspired by the original film Blade Runner 1982 by Ridley Scott and Jordan Cronenweth. I went for more saturated colors, split toning, stark contrast, for this exciting kids fantasy adventure project. The warm tones stand for the energy, movement to life, where the greenish tone symbolizes the poisonous environment and generally the bad spirits. This is an adventure film. Lots of action sequences involve fire and explosion. Beside the ordinary, neat video, halation, frequency separation, MTF, and so on. So basically, I have to tell you guys, I know that this movie hasn't been made, but if I was to see this as a treatment, I would definitely light it. I would definitely go yeah, we want to have it. So if anybody from Netflix is watching this, get in touch with me. I'll give you Jens Harms' email. So. Fantastic. Jens, you're special, man. I always do this. I can't tell you, this is such a beautiful work. Okay, and now we come to number 1. And it's a really, to me, it's a little as a surprise because, this, student, is not necessarily the most, outgoing, so, the students usually a little in the background, and these are the people sometimes you have to pay attention to. It's sometimes the quiet ones, they say. Okay, and I won't keep you much longer, in a kind of, as a secretive who it is. So let me just, basically show you. Ladies and gentlemen, Winterlook Academy 2021, the best assignment and final submission for the year 2021 is no one else but this is Mimi Lou. Woo, Mimi! Yeah! My God, what an amazing piece of work, Mimi, you did here. So let's kind of have a little bit look what's happening. So Michael, a boxer, comes in a hypnosis session to face the fear caused by his childhood trauma. So it was shot using log C, raw ARRI log C, right? She applied MTF with a negative Kodak 5219 500T, and then she printed to 2383. I created the cooler tone plus low-key lighting to make a universally feeling of the environment. I also want this look to be a little bit over the reality, since this is a hypnosis session, but I still want to keep a distance from the fantasy and dreaming sequences. I tried to keep the roundness in the contrast to increase a painting, surreal feeling at the same time. Stay with the character and not go too much with the visual. MTF process also provides enough softness in highlight details and enhances the film feeling. All the reference stills I chose all have a little surreal feeling but stays in the reality. I love how soft the edge of the shadow is but still keeps a contrast. Okay, let's kind of now really watch this. I mean, this is just, guys, you're all gonna agree, it just looks absolutely fantastic.
I've always been afraid.
Feed your fear. Make it a fire. A roaring blaze.
Let's go back to my camera. Wow, what a most wonderful work you guys did. And I mean, first of all, congratulations to Mimi. This was, to me was a really surprise, Mimi. I have to tell you, this came out of nowhere, but you really deserve it. You really did an amazing work. I mean, all of you did, guys, actually, I have to tell you, from, let's say, the difference between 10 and 20, there was so many works that we just really couldn't figure out, who's the better. It was really, really difficult. It was really, really difficult for us to choose who are the best ones. In any case, I think all finalists, that we selected are really exceptional works. And as I said, we're going to post it video separately, so that you just, can watch it. I think it's an inspiration. I think it's such an inspiration to go and watch it through and see what is possible, what can be done. I want to thank all the participants of the Winter Look Academy 2021 for their achievement. I also want to thank all our guest lecturers, because it was really their inspiration and their knowledge and everything that they have given us that has it's in this work. The reason why things look so good is because we had probably some of the best lecturers on the planet. And and really, you guys have put huge amount of time and effort into this, and I have to tell you that you have certainly elevated yourself and your skills above and what you're able to do now is something exceptional and special. I would have no doubt to put each one of you in front of any major project shooting for any of the streaming channels, any scripted episodic shows. You would be able to absolutely nail it down. And as I said, this is going to be my kind of little catalog that I will be just sending to directors who ask me, who would you recommend for this job or that job. For everybody else, guys, subscribe to Color Training, follow us on YouTube. If you want to find out more about the Summer Look Academy 2021, just sign up to our mailing list. We're going to be posting, some interesting, news about it, what's happening. And I see you all on a Discord. I really don't want this to stop. I want this to continue. I don't want this to be an end. This is only the beginning, everybody. So enjoy and have a wonderful time. I celebrate a little bit. I think you definitely deserve it. You definitely deserve it. And we will be all in a Discord straight, after this live stream. So we'll have a little like a, post kind of, final assignment party. So see you all I think we're going to be in the channel on the Discord, Winterlook Academy final assignment. So see you all there. And take care, everybody. It was a wonderful experience one more time. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.